Hello everyone, today we are focusing on the perfect markets and we are looking at the losses and supply. Now there are two questions that we need to answer. The first one being, what happens if the market price decreases? The second one, when will the company shut down? Right, from this graph, we see that a company needs to make a decision on the level of output whenever the price changes. As we can see, we have various price levels right here. So what does the company do when the price changes, maybe from P1 to P2, or from P3 to P4, or from P5 to P4, and so on? The company is supposed to make a decision whenever the price changes. Now, if the market price is at P2, then the business average revenue and the marginal revenue are also P2. Right, at point D, the marginal curve and the marginal revenue cross. At this point, the marginal curve and the average cost curve also cross. Now, since the marginal cost curve crosses the average cost curve at this point, the average cost lowest point. It means this is the lowest point of the average cost. That's what we are trying to say here. The company will generate a normal profit if the market price is at P2. So what it means is the company is making a normal profit at P2. Now that the company is making a normal profit at P2, it means that point D is also known as the break-even point. We move on to point E. At point E, the marginal revenue meets the marginal cost if the price rises to P1. The average cost curve is below point E. This suggests that the company will expand its level of output to Q1 if the market price is higher than the average cost. This business will realize an economic profit or excess profit at a market price of P1 as a result of the increase in the level of output to Q1. New enterprises will enter the market as a result of the economic profit. This will boost the supply on the market. The market price will then decline to, say, P2 if the market demand stays constant while the supply expands. So if there is more supply and the demand stays the same, it means that there is excess supply. So all companies will sooner or later get a normal profit at the lower market price. So new enterprises won't be motivated to enter the market. In the event that the market drops to P3, what will the company do? The marginal revenue and the marginal cost cross or they meet at this point, that is point C. The average cost curve now is above point C. So this means that the company is no longer able to pay for its manufacturing expenses. I mean all of the expenses. It will be able to cover some, but not all of them. The directors of the company, however, will not shut down the company right away. They will try to put some measures to lessen the costs, to lessen the loss. According to the loss minimizing rule, a company will decrease its level of output until the marginal cost is equal to the marginal revenue, when it can no longer pay for all of its operating costs. So the company will cut its production to Q3 if we use this rule in the scenario when the market price is P3. Please note that at this point, we are talking about the directors of the companies putting up measures to try and avoid shutting down. Maybe one of the measures will be to lay off some workers just to cut the costs so that they remain in business. The company at this point can still cover its average variable costs and a portion of its average fixed costs at the current market price. Although they are losing money, the company will continue to operate, hoping that the market price will rise soon and they will once again break even. They are hoping that after putting their measures, they will be able to reach the break-even point. We move on to the next point. Since the marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost, the quantity produced at market price of P4 will be Q4. Because of the current low market price, the company can only cover its variable costs. The business is unable to operate and will be forced to shut down if the market price falls to P4. So point B is the shutdown point. At point A, there is really no business at all. There's nothing that is happening there, and there is no company that is willing whatsoever to operate at point A. At point A, the average variable cost is greater than the average revenue. So there is no point whatsoever. There is no need for a company to produce at point A. There is no point for a company to run a business whereby the average variable costs are higher than the money that comes into the business. So there is no company that is willing to produce at point A. Now to sum up, at point A, the average variable cost is greater than the average revenue. So a business cannot produce in this area. At point B, this point represents the company's lowest price. This is the shutdown point. At point C, the business is incurring the losses. However, it does not shut down because this is when it put in some measures to try and stay in the business. At point D, our average revenue is equal to our average costs. So the business is making a normal profit. We call this the break-even point. Point E, our average revenue is greater than the average cost. That means the business is making economic profit. Thank you for watching this video. Don't miss the next lesson and feel free to request a video of any topic of your choice and consider it done. Goodbye.